Greetings, citizens, and welcome to another guzzling-fueled adventure of the Real Comic Heroes podcast. I'm Travis, and with me, as always, is the Ayatollah of Rock and Rolla,
Patrick. Yeah. I'm wearing a face plate today.
Yeah.
You can't see this on a podcast, but trust me, it's there. And I got weird wisps of hair
Yeah.
flowing randomly from my veiny skull.
Your Gollum hair.
Yeah, that's it.
Your Hulk Hogan-like corn silk wisps of hair.
Hulk Hogan, Bret Michaels, whatever. I'm pretty sure that's how it looks underneath the cowboy hat.
Yeah.
And bandana.
You sound surprisingly good, since your voice is muffled by that goalie mask.
Yeah, I put a hinge in so I can actually enunciate. So, come on, people.
We're pros.
That's right. I upgraded to the deluxe S&M outfit.
Optional ball gag.
Yeah. I don't know what it is, man. Oh, I was just uncomfortable watching everybody walk around in those outfits.
There's lots of up angle crotch shots with a lot of
assless chaps going on.
Assless chaps and I guess they'd be cups, just those.
Yeah, jock straps.
Yeah. It's all part of the aesthetic.
I mean, that's just how they dress in Australia, so it's not for us to judge.
Hey, to each their own.
That's why they call it the land down under. Got all those under crotch shots.
Emphasis on the under.
Very proud of their undercarriage, apparently.
Oh, yeah.
So we got Mad Max 2, The Road Warrior, if you thought we were watching something really weird before that. I guess we should have said that up front, huh?
My life fades. The vision dims. All that remains are memories. I remember a time of chaos, ruined dreams, this wasted land. But most of all, I remember the road warrior, the man we called Max.
Yeah, as originally, we were just talking about it before we started, that this was the road warrior for U.S. audiences, since over here, no one really knew what Mad Max was. So
yeah, because when I searched for it, I was searching Mad Max 2, and Road Warrior kept popping up, and I'm like, well, I hope this is it. It's Mel Gibson, and he's wearing Road Warrior type gear.
Yeah.
Because it's really just him standing on the cover art I saw, so I didn't see the car, so I assumed with Road Warrior there would be a car involved.
I think there might have been a road in the picture.
Yeah. Well, they wanted to make it obvious.
Yeah.
All right. So
that's right.
We were just talking the act breaks before we got on mic. It's pretty simple, I thought. There's not a whole lot of complexity to this movie.
No, it's pretty straightforward.
So we went with Act 1, and stopping point being when he joins the oil gang, or refinery crew. Whatever you want to call them. The guys with the pumps.
Yeah.
And then Act 2, spoilers, is when the Interceptor meets its demise.
Yep. The saddest point in the movie.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised by that.
I know.
Because I thought it was going to be like the DeLorean of this series.
Right, yeah.
And at least that waited till the last movie ended.
Well, and he's always got a car, and it always, I think it's pretty much that same style of car, so I'm wondering in Beyond Thunderdome, where does he get that car from? And then
there's cars littered everywhere. He
That's true.
Monsters one together, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Because I don't really think there's too many car lots anymore.
Yeah.
I was going to ask what the third one was called. I was assuming Mall Walker. Since he no longer has a vehicle.
Yeah. Segway.
The pedestrian warrior.
Yeah. Mad Max Scooter Warrior.
Ooh. I was kind of excited to see that gyroscope.
Yeah.
Gyrocopter thing.
Auto gyro.
Yeah. So that was kind of cool. But to Travis's point that it's the first movie for U.S. audiences, really.
Yeah.
It was kind of nice that they had that recap of the first movie.
Yeah.
But if I was seeing it for the first time, I'd be like, wait, why the hell is there previously on Mad Max?
Yeah. It's funny because as I was watching that point, it didn't bother me the way the recap at the beginning of Superman 2 bothered me. I don't know why. This one worked a little bit better, I think, and it might be because they mixed in more of the like social commentary and the world,
why the world is
building.
The way it is. Yeah.
It wasn't just a recap, of the first movie, I guess.
Yeah.
So.
That and towards the ending, you realize that the narrator's actually, I call him the wildling.
Yeah, the feral kid, I think, is what he's billed as. Yeah. It's kind of a similar situation to Conan, where you find out one of his, companions is the one telling the story.
So, let's jump into this.
Let's do it.
All right. So, first act, it gets off to a fast start as the first one did.
Yeah.
With the random showdown. It's sort of like mid-chase, You're assuming everyone's hunting for oil.
Sure.
Because of the recap you got.
Yeah.
And as usual, they did a really good job with the sort of stunt work with the cars and motorcycles. They're still doing that weird speed up the camera thing.
They do a lot of that, yeah.
And I have to say, it's like my least favorite thing. I get what they're trying to do, either show like a nitrous boost or I don't know why they do it sometimes.
I think it's purely
just to show
out
speed.
Out of need. I think to do some of the dangerous stunts, they can't do it at the speed, so they just figure, well, we'll just speed it up in camera, and that'll make up for the difference of doing a safer stunt, but ramping it up so it looks more dangerous. I think. I don't think it's there's a choice, like a.
Because sometimes, like when they're
preference.
just trying to, like, there's an example later when he takes off from the camp that they just, to get going faster, they just speed up the camera. There's no stunt, really.
That's true, yeah.
And it's like, anytime I see sped up footage, I constantly hear yakety sax.
Sure.
So it's like, it takes me out.
Yeah, I did notice it a lot.
I give it some credence on the stunt work, because I understand it's, kind of hard to weave in and out of, because he does that in this scene. He weaves through a couple cars.
Yeah.
And can't really do it without it looking really slow, I guess.
Right.
But it does, like, sort of give you an idea of the world that they were just talking about, where they're fighting for fuel or going after turned over vehicles or tankers.
Yeah, it was weird seeing Max, like, literally just stopping up the ground with the little bit of spilled gas and just trying to wring it out. It's like, you'd think, and maybe it's just we live in a time where we kind of live in excess sometimes, so you don't think about squeezing out that very last drop of gasoline or anything like that. But
and it was kind of because like the last time you saw him in the recap was clean shaven, close cut hair, and now he's a little more ragged.
Oh yeah,
he's got the torn sleeve.
Yeah, I like the one arm.
Yeah, and he's got a new buddy.
I like that they show that his leg is in a brace.
Yeah, I didn't notice that until he was sitting up in the rocks. I don't think I noticed it until then, that he still got his busted leg.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Didn't heal right.
Yeah. But yeah, he has his little travel companion. It's like an Australian cattle dog or something like that. But I like it. It just like camps out on the floorboard of the car.
Yeah, he got rid of the luxury interior.
Oh yeah. It's pretty Spartan. It's
some blankets and hay. I don't.
Yeah. Yeah, it was weird.
I mean, I guess it saves on weighing down the car.
Yeah, I mean every ounce
and
that's
speed
not
counts.
Yeah. So I think my first point is that Max is a guy that you get the sense he's always in control. He's always pretty cautious, and but every now and then he'll get the someone will get the jump on him. For instance, the gyro captain who is hiding under the sand, which is pretty awesome. He'll get the jump on Max, but that only lasts for a few minutes before he'll kind of turn the tables on him. Another instance is later on where he goes to the refugee, the oil, I don't know what you call it, the refinery.
Refinery thing. Yeah.
So he's kind of a captive, but as soon as they have a run-in with the Humungus and his people, it's you want the fuel, you got to deal with me or whatever. So he's able to quickly adapt and change and get, on top of the situation. Pretty.
Yeah, and at the same time, you see that he's not the same guy anymore.
Yeah.
Like, he's detached to everything around him.
Yeah. There was a real small moment when he finds that little music box thing.
Yeah.
Just the way that Mel Gibson plays it is really nice, because as he's just cranking the little thing, listening to music, it's like the first time he's experienced anything positive or joyful, or he has like a very small or very quick smile, and it seems like it's the first time he smiled in years. I don't know the time difference between movies, but it's just a quick little moment that I really like.
Cool. Yeah. Speaking of Captain Gyro,
yeah.
I like the little snake booby trap thing.
Yeah.
And it pays off, I guess, later too.
Sure.
But I was like, how long was he under the ground in that sand pile?
Yeah, I don't know.
That seems a bit odd.
Definitely. And that's Bruce Spence, and he's kind of like the Australian version of Doug Jones. Just a great character artist. He works a lot under makeup. Like, he's in Star Wars Revenge of the Sith, and he's at the Return of the King and Lord of the Rings, he plays the mouth of Sauron. It's like the guy who greets them at the Black Gates before the big epic battle at the very end. So he's, a lot of times they'll put prosthetics on him, or he was in one of the Matrix movies, like the train guy or something like that. Someone who.
Oh yeah. That's, I think, where I'm thinking of him from.
Okay.
I was like, I've seen this guy before.
You've definitely seen him a lot.
It was hard getting past his teeth. So.
Yeah. Well, that's why he's perfect in Lord of the Rings, because he's literally playing the mouth of Sauron, and so most of his head is covered, except he's got this helmet that has his mouth completely exposed, and that's all you see of this guy. Nice. But he's got that, and they add like fake, gross teeth and stuff like that. He doesn't have green
teeth. So.
Yeah.
But it's like the thing I noticed was his teeth. That and his eyes are like kind of crazy, bugged out.
He's great though. I guess he was nominated for a Best Supporting Actor for this movie, not for the Oscars or anything. But
that's my favorite thing was the dog bone trigger thing. Like, it was
that
hooked
was
up
great,
to the. So Mad Max ties him up, and then to top it off, he puts the gun right in his face with the dog having a bone that has a line attached to the trigger. Yeah. And there's a scene where he thinks the dog's going to look at something outside.
It's like a rabbit running off.
And he's like,
it's a great moment.
But it's awesome when they reveal later that the gun was empty.
Oh, that's great.
And he's like, it was empty this whole time.
Yeah. It's brilliant. I mean, and he's constantly fighting to find, viable, I guess, shotgun shells. I don't know. I guess they break down over time, or because one he just like cracked in his hands.
Yeah,
I guess
the
they
shell
get brittle.
probably disintegrates or something.
Yeah,
because it's plastic.
Yeah,
I guess, I don't know. Again, it's hard to tell how much time has passed.
Yeah,
but apparently not long enough for dog food to go bad.
That dog food had gone bad. There's just a wide
because I was judging the time by that.
Yeah.
Like, okay, dog food's still good, so you got like a couple years, I think, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, it's a canned good.
Yeah,
it'll last for.
Well, it's canned. I don't know if it's good, but
right.
And that was a good scene too, because he threw it to the dog.
I like the interaction between the gyro captain and the dog.
Yeah.
Just the constant little fighting for scraps, or
well, it's kind of funny because he's the one on a collar and chain, and so he's below the dog.
Right. Totally. Yeah.
That's a common theme in this movie because there's a guy on the Marauders team that's on a chain too later.
Yeah.
So they like chaining people up.
Sure.
Very S&M heavy movie.
Oh, very. Yeah.
He's the one that tells them about the giant pile of gas.
Yeah, he tries to. That's right. If he takes them to fuel, he'll let them live.
I thought it was like a pretty badass shot at night when they're leaving after the Marauders were trying to get in. Like they're just
Definitely.
constantly attacking this place.
Yeah.
And they're like a gigantic metal fort and pits and stuff.
Yeah.
But they're like nightfall, and they're like, okay, we gotta go home.
Mm-hmm.
But it's
Yeah, that
a
was
cool
kinda
shot.
weird.
It is a cool shot, though. But
Yeah.
you'd think you'd try to attack at night.
You would think so. A lot of the shots in this, speaking of, that being a good shot, like, just visually, this movie is pretty outstanding.
Oh, yeah.
And this was, I listened to a little bit of the audio commentary. The cinematographer's name's Dean Semler, and this was his first action movie.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
And I don't know what he did before this, but probably a lot of, like, sweeping, epics or something with a lot of, like, landscape. And so I think he was probably came from a world of shooting these big, vast, open, beautiful.
Because it was a cool shot because they're up on the hill.
Yeah.
And it's just a wide shot of like them leaving, the dust trails, the refinery shooting flames, and the pump going on the mill or on the oil drill.
Yeah, and it's crazy to think that they probably go through this every day. Like this.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
This horde is just relentless.
Because they say later we get weaker, but they keep getting stronger. So I'm assuming they're recruiting and.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of the downfalls of this movie is that I don't really know much about them.
Yeah.
Other than they've lost something, and this is how they're dealing with it. And that's pretty much all you know.
Yeah.
Like, you don't even find out about the guy with the hockey mask, other than obviously he's been through some stuff.
Yeah.
Because he's deformed and burnt or...
I was reading...
irradiated? I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I like the shot, the back of his head where it's all like pulsating and scarred. And there was something in what I read about perhaps Lord Humungus and Papagallo, who's kind of the leader of the oil refinery. Mm-hmm. Like they might have served together in whatever military outfit. Like there's no hard evidence, I guess, on that, but it's a theory that the two of them might have served together. And I don't know where that comes from, but I thought that was interesting because you don't get any backstory. So
no.
So that little tiny shred of possible,
you get that two great northern tribes sort of screwed everything up.
Yeah,
so I'm assuming that's like Russia and the U.S.
Could be. Yeah, it's hard to tell what they're referencing or
because they say northern tribes.
That's a good point. It could be two superpowers from
everyone's north of
right.
Australia.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Could be China. Could be. I mean, you just don't know.
Yeah, could easily be like China, U.S. or
China and Russia.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, it wouldn't take much. I mean, I really like the scene of just Max doing recon that leads up to him even. I like that cautiousness of just camping out, checking them every couple hours. He'll see what they're up to, and it's kind of the same. Just a swirl of dust and marauders. Every now and then you get, the one marauder on a bike, I think, tries to like ramp into the place.
Yeah.
So it's. I just like that Max just sits back and observes everything.
There is a part where it sort of gets to the end of this act where people within the refinery come out.
Yeah.
Trying
Scouts,
to
or
get a vehicle that can haul this tanker.
Yeah, I couldn't tell what they were trying to do.
I assumed that after the fact when they explained that they've been searching for a big enough
That's right.
vehicle.
They need a truck.
They sent out a bunch of people to go, so not one person was getting nailed. But I don't know if it's this part, but there's a point where Max has his binoculars, and then Gyro Captain pulls out the big, like 4-foot long telescope.
That was great. And I like that Max like sees it over his shoulder, and you could tell like
he's like, hey,
it's just
that.
Takes it from him, and it's kind of like is he just jealous that his telescope is bigger than? But that is a nice little moment and such a tense moment.
Yeah,
because it's basically these guys are being pursued, and it's probably not going to end well because it's kind of like watching like a swarm of ants on like another insect. Just like they just swarm and consume. And
so I'm assuming none of those. Yeah, because the rest of them get caught.
Yeah,
I'm
later
assuming.
on off camera.
Yeah,
yeah.
because I know there's some guys that are tied up to
Yeah.
the car and
Yeah.
stayed in the whole movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a pretty brutal scene when the one
It's
group
really
gets
brutal.
caught. And at first I thought the gyro captain was kind of digging it. If I look
Right.
at his face, but then you see his face change as he realizes.
Yeah, there's a great shot of his his face changing when he sees what's happening. Yeah.
And Max goes in. I'm not entirely sure what his motive for going in is.
To save the guy, I think he knows if he brings this guy back,
Because
he's
I
got
thought
a
he was
chance
dead.
of getting fuel.
I didn't realize he was still alive.
Right.
Like, I thought he was going in to, like, scavenge something, maybe.
Yeah.
But I thought there were still people. Like, it was kind of unclear to me at the time why he was going in
Why risk
to that. Yeah.
exposing himself out in the open? Yeah.
Because the way they shot it, I thought he got shot in the chest.
Oh, yeah.
So I thought he was just dead.
Right.
I didn't realize it was, like, sort of pinned to the vehicle.
Yeah.
Because, well, still kind of in the chest, but
Yeah.
I didn't realize he was
both
alive.
shoulders or
Yeah. He just comes up behind that one dude that...
I think had raped the
Yeah,
the
that's the
lady
guy.
and
And then just killed her.
well, no, it's weird. They show him shoot her, and then I think rapes her.
They shot her. She's still alive because she's struggling.
Okay.
After that, when he does what he's doing, he then gets up, shoots her. But the weird thing is, I thought he was dressed at that point, but he looks like he's getting dressed
Right.
when Max
That's why I
comes up on him.
assumed. Okay, maybe he's just putting his boots on.
Might be putting his
I think that's
boots
what he
or
was
his, business casual cod piece. I don't.
Yeah.
They had a lot of equipment on. But Max just beats his head in.
With the
The telescope thing.
no, it was the what are they called? You like cut bolt cutters.
Oh, that's right.
Because that's what he used to clip the
Free
air,
the guy that was
crossbow
pinned.
bolts or whatever.
And I like that guy's into the everyone's got like arrows and bolts.
Yeah,
because it's probably more convenient. You can reuse it.
Well, I think definitely that, and something about the firearms. They just don't last without being able to upkeep them. We were shown the shotgun shells don't hold up. And when Humungus takes out his gun later on, it's in a nice case, and he has like so many bullets that he keeps lined up. So it's definitely like
I thought the bullets would have been bigger to do the damage it did.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know much about.
Like it looked like an elephant gun. The thing was huge, and then it had these little tiny bullets.
Yeah,
it was weird.
Let's talk about. I guess his name's Wes, the main henchman.
Oh yeah,
the guy with the mohawk who
the
gets
gas traps.
Yeah. He's pretty intense, and he's a lot of fun to watch. Like he's more acrobatic than you think a big guy would be, and I'm sure he's not doing all the jumping around later on.
Yeah, I'm sure he didn't do the double flip over the
guy. But he's still like,
especially in that thong.
Yeah. He's I guess was on some list of top however many henchmen of all time.
Because I've seen him in other stuff, I swear.
See, I kind of recognized him, but in looking him up on IMDb, I don't recognize him from anything else. And he looks a lot different now. Like looks like an old wrestler. Like,
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
He looked like a wrestler then. So.
Yeah. But something about his intensity and just his eyes are just really pretty frightening,
Yeah, I feel like I've seen him with a mohawk in something else.
I don't know. Maybe.
It's I don't know if it might have been Tango and Cash or like
Could
some
be.
80s action movie.
I don't
know. You think Mel Gibson would have helped the brother out?
Yeah.
But
I didn't pay attention because I went through his IMDb and nothing like stood out like oh, I've seen him in that or
So I guess that gets us to the end of the act because he's taking back the dude that got riddled with the arrows to the shoulders.
Yeah.
And in exchange for gas that he can take.
Right.
He gets him to the gate where the flamethrower people are.
Yeah.
And he sort of goes into their den with him.
Yeah.
Without weapons or his car.
Right.
You guys surrender everything.
Where did you find him?
2 or 3 miles down the road, left for dead. We had a deal.
There were 3 other vehicles. Did you see anything of them?
Yeah, they're heading hard to the southwest in heaps of trouble. Look, he said if I brought him back here, he'd give me some gas. There's not much time.
There was a woman in the car.
She's dead.
What did they do?
It was quick. Look, I just want my gas. I want to get out of here. Now, give me
So
the
we know he's one of them.
Give him nothing. She's right, he's a parasite.
Trading in human flesh, mercenary trash.
I like their setup, how they've got the bus that they can pull aside as a gate. Like, it makes sense.
And it's like paneled with
Yeah,
steel plating.
reinforced. It's weird. It's like the place itself doesn't look that fortified. Like, it doesn't look like it would take that much to get in there. But,
Especially if you went in the cover of night
yeah, like you think, you know.
or crawl through that tunnel the little wildling uses.
I know. I kept thinking that when he pops up and it's like
He's like a little
someone else could follow him in one of these little prairie dog holes.
He's like a little meerkat.
Yeah. Is that when do we get the standoff? Oh, they come back after Max goes in with the guy.
Yeah, his deal falls through because the guy died.
Right.
And then they show up with the people strapped to their vehicles.
So awesome seeing those guys on the.
It was a good tactic.
Yeah.
And sadly, it's actually used in real life.
Is it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you mean just human shields?
Yeah,
or,
yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant like strapped to car, like.
Oh, yeah.
vehicles. Oh.
Like, I mean, yeah, that's pretty much what ISIS does.
Oh shit.
Like, they'll, chain them up to building entrances.
Oh,
or,
okay.
I don't know if they ride around in vehicles with them,
Right.
but
Yeah.
wouldn't put it past anyone.
Yeah.
There's a lot of weird people out there.
They use something similar in Fury Road. That's an
do they?
obvious, like,
Nod
they
to
use
that.
that same tactic on their cars. Yeah. It's really cool.
That's I like they had the one guy that was like, "Don't shoot, open the doors."
Yeah. And
And the other
next
guy's
to him.
like, "Don't listen to him. He's
Yeah.
an asshole."
Yeah. And that's kind of when we really get to meet, I guess, Lord Humungus.
Greetings from the Humungus, the Lord Humungus, the warrior of the Wasteland, the Ayatollah of rock and roller.
I am gravely disappointed. Again, you have made me unleash my dogs of war.
It's
And you see the Mohawk guy from the beginning is back with this group.
Yeah.
And I thought that person on the back was a girl when I first saw them.
nope. That's his little buddy. That's his male
Yeah.
companion.
I thought he looked like the dude that plays Napoleon Dynamite.
Oh,
That Heater or whatever
Yeah,
his name is.
John Heater.
John Heater.
I think he's credited as the Golden Youth. Yeah, it's kind of everyone's got nicknames, in these movies.
But this is about where I fell in love with the Wildling character.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can see why.
Pops up with his chainmail fur mitten and his
Yeah.
boomerang of death. It's awesome. Because that thing
It's awesome with that thing.
Oh, yeah. And catching it, too.
Yeah.
Because the other guy tries to catch
That
it.
toady, yeah. I do like the shot of just the fingertips going bloop. And just all four just...
Everyone's just cracking up.
Yeah.
And then he turns around and starts smiling. I was
Yeah.
like, whoa. But yeah, the Golden Youth gets a silver boomerang to the skull.
Oh, man. It goes deep, too.
Yeah, it does not please Captain Mohawk and the
Yeah.
Thong friend. I have a nickname for everybody because I don't know their names.
They're not far off from, in a movie like this, it's fine.
But yeah, they're giving them an ultimatum to, leave.
That's right. They can leave freely and just all they want is the gas. And yeah, but as soon as they open those gates, everyone's gonna get just slaughtered.
Yeah.
It's kind of one of these villains that has they're just evil for evil's sake, I guess. There's no like motivation to it. It's because they could be the bad guys and want the gas and not be sadistic and cruel and but
Yeah.
these guys are just
Well, I have a feeling everyone in this world is a little unhinged except for this small little group.
yeah, I
Because
think
even Max is, bizarre in his own way.
right. Yeah, Max is playing by frontier kind of law. Don't take my stuff. If you take my stuff, I'm gonna kill you.
I don't care about you unless
yeah.
it helps me.
Whereas the refugees are still like trying to keep order and
Well, he even says it that we're holding on to our humanity, whereas you've given up.
Yeah,
or however he puts it. But
and then you've got the horde of Humungus who are just it's lawlessness, and they can do anything they want. And
there's so Max agrees to like head out and find the vehicle that he saw at the beginning of the movie because it could haul the tanker,
the truck,
and he meets up with the gyrocopter captain walking through the forest.
I love that
the sand,
dragging the
the log.
The log. Well, I love that it's the dog that clues in the gyro captain that he's being followed.
He's like, oh no, his face.
Yeah. It's so good.
And then Max makes him carry the gasoline.
Poor guy. It's like you kind of feel bad for him. Just
I do. It's awesome though.
Yeah.
I was like, man, the wildling and this gyro captain guy are the most useful companions ever.
Yeah, yeah.
Like he's got a little posse going, and the dog.
Yeah.
The enforcer.
Let's see.
Because I didn't realize that they could both get in the gyrocopter to get to the truck.
Yeah, because they were both like sitting side by side, I think. Mm-hmm. And was the dog with them? Must have been.
Yeah, like on his lap or something.
That's weird. That's a weird picture to paint in your head.
All that fuel. That's a lot of stuff.
Oh yeah, the like 5 or 4 tanks that he had.
Yeah, big tanks. Yeah. Well, it must have been an uncomfortable flight.
Yeah. It's real awkward.
And then they magically land, and Max in the truck. But it makes it seem like Max is leaving him there, but he's still got his gyrocopter.
Yeah, well, he tells him, that he frees him. He gives him the key to unlock himself, and that's when it's kind of that the prisoner becomes, he just wants to stay with Max. Like he even says, like we're a great team.
Yeah.
We're partners, you and I, and it's like, But I think he's just I don't know if he got a sense of the.
Well, I think he realizes that he's not a nut job and he's smart.
Yeah,
and can get some shit done. So why not join up with him?
He'd be safer sticking with Max. Yeah, that makes
Either
sense.
that or join Hockey Mask and his buddies.
Yeah,
or keep living under the sand and randomly attacking people.
Sure, it's worked once that we know of.
You assume it's worked in the past.
Yeah.
Many times.
I like when he's wrestling the snake from the dog. Like, it's my snake. I trained him. I get to eat him.
I forgot about that. That's such a bizarre.
Yeah.
And apparently he's got a whole bunch of these snakes because he uses them later as an airdrop.
Yeah.
So I don't really know what's going on there.
He's just great.
But
Let's see. So Max. Oh, there's such a great scene. Max, I kind of mentioned it earlier. Comes back with the truck.
Yeah.
And it's just, I like that he comes straight through their camp.
Oh yeah.
It's just
might as well.
Yeah, just fucking wake him up and.
Try to take anybody out in the meantime.
Just cause a little chaos, kind of kick the hornet's nest.
You're not going to sneak that thing in.
Yeah, that's true. But then, unfortunately, he lets in it's Wes and then
some
other
guys,
people, maybe
2 or 3.
Yeah, so there's some chaos right away. With
you get a shot to the radiator that I guess screws other things up too.
Right.
And there's a little fight sequence. The captain of the refinery group gets shot in the leg.
Yeah. Just take an arrow to the leg. Yeah.
And that one weird guy that seems like he'd be a real pansy gets killed by Mohawk Thong Man.
Oh, does he die?
Well, he's dead later.
It's like a headbutt.
Yeah, he gets a headbutt.
Okay.
So
yeah, that's right. He's laying out in the
Yeah.
gurney or whatever later. That's right. Yeah.
So I'm assuming that killed him somehow.
Headbutt.
No. Maybe he did it up and it knocked his nose into his brain. Or
Maybe.
something. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
He didn't look very tough, so maybe that's all it took.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, my nose is broken, dead. But yeah, he gets back in. He's a little brings back a vehicle a little worse for wear.
Yeah. Like, well, I did what I said I was going to do.
But everyone wants him to stay, and they're like,
Yeah.
congratulate him like he's a hero, but he's like, nah, I'm just here for the gas. And
Yeah,
I'm leaving.
and it's right here. It's like you kind of know exactly what's going to happen just because the movie is following it's the Joseph Campbell hero with 1,000 faces model, where it's the hero is going to leave the people. Ultimately, we know he's going to end up coming back, but so it's a little predictable right here with Max leaving. He just says, I'm taking the fuel that was promised to me, and I'm taking off. This was earlier when Max was trying to leave in the cover of night with the gas tanks, and he falls like into the I guess a trench or just into a ditch, and then you have the wild child like causing. He's doing the dingo or coyote. Howl.
Dingo, real racist thing.
Hey, I don't know what it is.
Australia's lousy with dingoes, didgeridoos, and
babies,
and what you call it, kangaroos.
Yeah,
but it gets to Max. They're trying to convince him to stay.
Yeah,
goes into that little speech about how he's given up and everyone here's lost something.
Do you think you're the only one that's suffered? We've all been through it in here, but we haven't given up. We're still human beings with dignity. But you're out there with the garbage. You're nothing.
Yeah, and you're not so special.
Kind of fights with the guy in charge.
Yeah, this movie's so weird that you don't really get to know anybody.
Yeah,
like you don't even know Max in this movie, really.
That's true. And there's some people have slight character traits, like the girl, very brief. Very minor. Yeah,
like I thought the girl was going to lead up to something,
right? Kind of the warrior woman. Yeah, you think that her and Max are going to have something together.
At least to have him lose something else. Like if he,
something to fight for. Yeah,
I think he just they respected each other. Maybe
I guess that's it.
Because she says I was wrong about you.
Yeah,
and then he goes, yeah, whatever.
And it's kind of cool that they play with conventions that way a little bit, because you expect that Max is going to have to have a romantic interest in this movie, but he doesn't. But you think it's going to be that warrior woman.
Yeah, it's just weird because you never get attached to anybody in this movie.
No,
and if this was the first movie for American audiences, you don't even know Max.
That's true.
Other than the weird or the quick snapshot in the beginning.
Yeah,
that he's lost his family.
If you hadn't seen the first one, doesn't really. I guess it explains that he loses his family, so that's why he is just out on his own.
Everyone in this movie, you just don't know anything about them.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting.
Like they're just either crazy, they're hopeful, or they're just disconnected.
Yeah, I think they overcompensate with that. Not that that's a bad thing, but I think they overdo it with Beyond Thunderdome. Like you get a lot of character motivation and character build up for different characters. But
because people were
get there
later dying left and right. I'm like, no, okay.
Yeah.
I think the only people I cared about were Gyro Captain and Wildling.
Those
are my two. And I just liked them because their characters were fun.
Yeah, I really liked the Papagallo, which I thought they were calling him Papa Gallon, as in gallon of fuel, or but it's Papagallo. I don't know what that means, but
maybe gallows, execution.
No idea.
But I really wanted to see behind his mask.
That's Humungus.
Humungus.
Yeah.
I kept waiting for that. We got the back head shot.
Right.
I was really kind of wanting to see what
that was. Yeah, even that, you don't know why he's all covered up.
I thought, the boomerang was going to knock off his mask at one point.
Right.
Yeah, and show, this sort of
mutated.
I Planet of the Apes-ish face or something.
I think that's what's going on underneath that. And they do the same thing with Fury Road. You never see.
Yeah. I guess it's all right, but I really wanted to see
Yeah. I'd be interested to look up just production behind the scenes stuff if they have any shots of that guy without the mask on, and if they went to the trouble of
Probably
doing
not.
full makeup.
I'm assuming they just did it around the eyes.
Yeah,
maybe.
that's what I was gonna say. You can definitely tell with the eyes that
Otherwise, why?
they've got some makeup. Yeah,
Why burn the calories?
yeah,
His face was all jacked up, but his body was like in top shape. Like it was
yeah.
like
It's
not a
just-
scratch on it.
No, he was a Swedish bodybuilder / like Olympian weightlifter / actor.
Wearing his leather Speedo the
Yeah.
whole time, and his did he have like suspenders?
Did he? I thought he had like,
Or like a
bandoliers kind of crossed,
Was it? Okay.
something like that. Yeah,
I was like, I remember he had something on
Yeah.
other than the Speedo, but
Yeah.
I couldn't remember what it was.
it's more like
And then he has
He-Man.
like a yeah, and then he's got like some kind of like wolf pelts or something.
Well, and he's got like a gauntlet that he wears too, a
that's
spiked,
true. Yeah.
spiked gauntlet. That was cool.
And Thonghawk also has one of those like gauntlet crossbows.
Yeah, that was
That
cool.
was pretty cool.
Yeah,
But yeah, I guess we're getting into the third act.
Yeah.
where, Max is heading out. He said, "Fuck you guys, I'm out of here."
and it's so like you know exactly what's going to happen. Although I was surprised, with the even having seen this before, I kind of forgot how it went down. That you don't expect him to wreck the pursuit special, but I that scene is really tough, with the dog and the car like blowing up, and that's
That car was looking pretty rough.
oh yeah, there was no saving that car. But
I mean, even before that, it
Yeah.
looked pretty rough. It
but I
had
do
been
like
through
that
something.
you get the payoff of the
the booby trap.
booby trapped
Yeah.
fuel tanks. That was a nice touch. It's kind of the if you see a gun in Act 1, you have to fire that gun by Act 3 or whatever. So
Well, this is the demise of his Wonder Mutt.
yeah,
He goes down.
yeah, that was
I was like, well, the Wild Thing will take his place.
yeah.
Nope.
Max has no shortage of little sidekicks.
That was a joke.
Yeah. And then let's see. So you got Max. Oh, that's right. The gyro captain finds Max. It's a great shot when you see Max like looking at Max's face and the ground is moving underneath him, and they're going over the Marauders camp and they're all getting in a frenzy, and you kind of see like Mel Gibson really sells the hell out of it because it looks like he's just waking up and like no idea where he is, and
He's got a head injury. And
Yeah.
Everything's blurry.
all of a sudden he's in the air and
If that dude was looking at me,
yeah.
he's like, "Hey, mate,
Yeah.
hang in there." It's just so weird.
Yeah.
I like that he gets back. He wakes up all bandaged up and
Yeah.
one eye closed, and
Looking like Rocky. Just
I mean-
went a couple rounds with.
I think it's his good leg that gets injured. So he's got two bad legs,
Yeah.
one eye, but he's going to drive it. And
Yeah.
at this point, I didn't realize it was a decoy,
I didn't either.
honestly.
Yeah. It's a pretty genuine surprise, I think.
I
with the
didn't
decoy.
realize till I saw it leaking sand.
Which I think was a bad giveaway too soon. Because I think Max's reaction to seeing sand would have been a better giveaway.
Yeah.
Than seeing it driving down the road and it's leaking sand. I think
Yeah.
that was a badly timed reveal.
Because I thought he saw that it was leaking sand.
Right, I did
But maybe
too.
he thought it was fuel.
Yeah, it's
Because it was going so fast.
Yeah.
I don't know. Because he goes up and then later on he puts his hand under the leak
Yeah.
and
yeah.
he's realizes.
Yeah.
It seems like that's when he realizes it's all sand.
Yeah. Well, I think the putting his hand under it is just a pure like I can't believe what I'm seeing, so I need to like touch it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the reveal should have come when Max sees what's going on.
Because I assumed he still had fuel in there, and they had they put what they could in the school bus.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
they mentioned that they need them to. They're gonna aim for the tanker.
Right.
So I thought it at least still had some in case
Right.
they did get out of it. But
Yeah.
I guess it was just filled with.
So I wonder if it ever had fuel in it.
Doesn't seem like it.
Yeah. Because it doesn't
Although-
seem like they could have last minute
No.
drained that thing and filled it with sand. I mean, that would have taken Max would have noticed.
But at the same time, you think the Marauders would have paid attention to what they're filling that thing with.
Yeah, but
Unless they just assumed
they had it backed into like a covered kind of
Because I felt
shelter.
like Max could see everything when he was up on that hill.
Yeah.
But maybe they're not that
But like I said,
crafty.
that tanker could have been filled with sand since day one, really.
Yeah.
You never, you don't know.
But,
and that's the thing, like when the tanker is driving down the road and it's leaking sand, at that point I assume, Max is aware of it. And he is aware that he is leading the decoy. So it's kind of a double surprise where you find out that not only does Max not know that he's driving a decoy, he doesn't know that he's...
I don't think anybody does, because none of the Marauders realize it.
No, right. Yeah.
Like, nobody knows.
Only the refugees know that, really what's going on. So I think that's why it's kind of a bigger sacrifice that Papagallo was going to make by driving the truck, because he knew he was driving a decoy, just to help the people get away. So,
and what was it? It wasn't entirely clear if Max knew that's what he was doing or not.
Yeah, I don't think he did.
I mean, a little bit of them had to know, because how are you going to get away from all these people in a tanker truck?
Yeah. I guess he thought the truck was fortified enough.
At least he's got a big possibility of dying, because he is driving a shitload of fuel in his head.
Sure.
So that could blow.
Yeah.
So I did like everyone's left and some of the Marauders go in.
Yeah.
To the base.
Oh man.
I didn't see that coming.
No? Okay. I think once they were in there, I thought, well, you kind of know, like if you've seen enough Mythbusters, you know when the camera view or the angle is at a certain distance, you know that there's going to be a big explosion. So
I realized once they were in there celebrating, I'm like, oh, this isn't going to end well. But I didn't think ahead of time. Like when they got in, I was like, oh, they got something out of this, I guess. Oh.
Yeah. That explosion though it's incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, you can tell that they didn't do it
flying.
with miniatures.
No.
They didn't do it like, they didn't try and fake it somehow. They literally blew up this oil refinery set.
And the tires flying through the air.
I wondered I meant to do a little like background to see like what made them decide to, how much they spent on this explosion. Like, just because it's an incredible explosion. It
probably wasn't that much, really. I mean,
I don't know.
It's just the explosives. I mean,
and
then the cost of the set. Which probably was just scrapyard stuff. Cause that's all you needed. Because it was like you were saying, it looked like a MythBusters explosion.
Yeah,
like it was real. Like
they're
out in the middle of friggin' nowhere. You might as well.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, and then I just want to talk about just the overall truck chase.
That was awesome.
I mean, God, it holds up so well.
Yep.
I watched I went ahead and bought this movie on iTunes, and it comes with some special features. And there's like a introduction with Leonard Maltin, and he's just talking about kind of the cultural impact and how American audiences, they didn't really know much about the original, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But he talked about that this movie featured, a 13-minute, not one take, but one sequence, this truck chase. And it was based on, or it was inspired by some other movie from 60s or maybe earlier. It had like an 11-minute chase of some kind. So they wanted to kind of, do that, but then go a little further.
Oh, it was probably the Bond boat chase.
No.
That just felt that long.
Yeah. But yeah, just how amazing these driving stunts are, and you got people who aren't using harnesses, and no visible wires, and you can tell they might be going a little slower. Like they're not going top speed or anything, obviously, but they're going at a speed that's fast enough that you certainly wouldn't want to be doing some of these stunts, and a lot of it seems like it's the actors. It's not like stunt men, unless the people are just stunt men. But
true.
But like the woman that we were talking about earlier, she's doing a lot of like hanging off the side of the truck and a lot of and just pretty excellent.
The cool
sequence.
little Oh, he's a cool little side character, the guy that's paralyzed.
Yeah,
It's also like the technician.
Mechanic,
Yeah.
kind of.
He has a good moment there when he's trying to save her after he puts out the fire on his
Yeah,
legs.
the whole fire sequence is real weird. Gets it on his hands, and he's just like, the way he plays it is like, well, I can't feel my hands either, because I mean, obviously he was wearing thick gloves, but
and
I think he'd be freaking out more.
I think he'd go for that bag of water a little sooner.
Yeah,
he spent a lot of time just patting his legs and looking at his hands.
Yeah.
And then that one guy that was so cool when his leg got caught by the Gatling gun thing.
Oh, yeah.
It was like hooked around his leg and around the barrier that he was using as a shield.
Yeah.
And then it spun out the dune buggy.
That was crazy.
And then eventually took him out with the... Yeah. That was a good sequence.
At this point, people are kind of dropping left and right a little bit. Like, Papagallo gets speared in the back, and you don't expect him to bite it, but...
A lot of lackluster deaths in this.
Well, just like throwaway. I mean, because not every death would be an epic, sacrificial or,
they pretty much all go in a row. Like, it's just like dead. And then even I guess I like that one dude with the metal claw hand.
He
gets through the window.
Yeah,
and
grabs Max's shoulder. Yeah.
And like he's hanging there and he can't unhook. And it plays in because the wildling gets involved and
he's all over him, like biting, and
Thonghawk's there trying to get you got your stereotypical shoot through the roof thing.
Sure. Well, him going over the front of the car and then popping back up later.
Yeah.
That's you see that coming, but it's still really well done. Yeah. Like, especially because you got the wild child who's like trying to get out on the hood to get the shell.
You see Max trying to get the kid when all hell's breaking loose, but he can't. And and the gyrocopter goes down and miraculously he survives that.
Yeah.
And the gyrocopter's okay, kind of. It can't fly, but it can still.
Right.
I mean, sorry, buddy. You ain't that tough.
Yeah.
And that's another one of those sped up things. So it really looked like it nailed the ground when I saw it.
It must have had a dummy in there or some kind of, maybe it was a miniature, because it looked like it hit the ground hard. Yeah. I wouldn't want to be, piloting that thing.
I mean, he was dropping from a couple, maybe 150 feet at least.
Yeah.
So
but I do like him throwing the snakes and throwing little fire bombs.
Molotov cocktail things. Yeah. But it was, I didn't quite understand what Jason was trying to do. Was he just sacrificing himself to get the truck? Because he just head on into the semi.
I think just because they were coming up over the hill, I guess he just didn't.
Because he had time to move.
I don't know. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, that is weird.
I mean, I thought it was like a bogus way to sort of end that.
Yeah, because
I was trying to figure it out. I was like, why did he do that?
Yeah, I don't know.
You're not going to win that, buddy.
Yeah. That's weird, yeah.
And it took out.
But I like that it takes out the basically the two bad guys together,
But it was just weird.
Yeah. But it's almost a little like the
last
toe cutter
one.
death.
Yeah.
From the last movie, just coming up over a hill and smashing him. But
just assuming he was just sacrificing himself to get the fuel, but that doesn't seem like he would do that.
Yeah. That's weird. It has to have been that...
Because that really bummed out the movie for me. I was like, what the hell was that?
Well, at least it was the end.
I was like, why'd you do this to me again? Where it's just a senseless villain death.
Yeah. I did not even see it that way, but I think I was wrapped up in the... at this point, I wasn't really writing down, many notes, because it was basically once the chase sequence started, it was pretty easy to get sucked into it.
He went through the trouble of getting the new vehicle and then getting it back going.
Yeah.
Just to run it into the truck that he's not going to survive.
It must have been the speed at which he was coming. He didn't have time to swerve. I don't know.
That, and how the hell did he get ahead of him so far?
Well, because they were showing that car it barely spent any time on the road. He was off in the grass and stuff, but maybe rocketed forward and then came around. Because I know he had the nitrous.
Yeah, I know he did that, but
I don't know. Yeah,
I guess maybe he lost control. I guess, but It seems like he's going to be coming that way.
Yeah.
That's just... And why would you rocket to him?
I don't know.
I could see rocketing to catch up, but...
That's weird. Now that, now that you bring it up, it is a weird...
I was very confused by it all.
Ending, yeah.
I was like... So I have to just assume he was like, fuck it, I'm just going to sacrifice and my gang will get it.
Yeah, I guess so.
Because that worked.
Sure.
Or... Otherwise, I have no idea why he did it.
Yeah, that's weird.
Maybe he was like, after he took out Papa Shango, he's like, oh, my buddy from the war.
Yeah.
I got nothing to live for.
What have I done?
Yeah. It's like, my face really hurts. I'm sick of this.
Yeah. I just want to retire somewhere quiet.
I don't know. But
that is interesting, yeah.
Yeah, it sort of just ends with him.
Maybe they just couldn't figure out a way to wrap it up and have a satisfying or epic, death for either of them. So they just said, well, we'll just run them into each other.
I just assumed like that he'd get onto the truck or derail the truck somehow.
Yeah.
And there'd be like a showdown, but I guess not.
Yeah.
And then it just turns over the semi. He gets out. Wildlings in his arms.
Yeah.
And he goes to the, fuel tank. And
this movie wraps up really fast.
And that's how the other one kind of was. Well, they had the revenge sequence, I guess.
Yeah.
But, yeah, and then they all get on the bus and they show you the gas was in there and they leave the Road Wars the last time we saw him.
Yeah.
And so began the journey north to safety, to our place in the sun. Among us we found a new leader, the man who came from the sky, the gyro captain. And just as Papagallo had planned, we travelled far beyond the reach of men and machines. The juice, the precious juice, was hidden in the vehicles. As for me, I grew to manhood. In the fullness of time, I became the leader, the chief of the great northern tribe. And a road warrior? That was the last we ever saw of him. He lives now, only in my memories.
Oh, the
all
captain.
we have is a memory of the road warrior. Yeah.
He lives on in our memory.
Yeah, then you get the
last time we saw him was in memories.
I thought it was weird to have the gyro captain as like the new leader. Like maybe they should have left. One of the warrior woman would have been a good like leader to had she lived.
Oh, really? He probably was the best option.
Maybe
everyone else was old. Like they were all old ladies and old dudes that used to be.
That's true.
Warriors.
Most of their fighters all died. Yeah.
So he's got some smarts to.
Yeah, and then they say that they went on to create the Great Northern Tribe. So I don't know what that.
I assume they went to the north part of Australia, where the beach was. That the captain wanted to breed on.
They had those postcards that they were showing them, like we're going here where it's sunny and the
nothing
beach,
to do but breed.
women in bikinis. And...
But yeah, and then it just sort of ends on the kind of like the image of the poster.
Yeah, the same shot. I think
just standing in a desolate road with vehicles burning around him.
Yeah, so there's really no, I mean, he changes kind of as a character, but he basically ends up where he started. Without a car, though.
And no dog.
Yeah. So he starts at square one again.
And I presume he enters the Battle Dome for some reason. I don't know yet. We'll find out, I guess.
I feel like, because I've only seen, what's it called? Beyond Thunderdome once when I was going through all these movies in preparation for Fury Road. And you could tell that Beyond Thunderdome was when Mel Gibson had definitely gotten some popularity. It was 85, I think, so he's done a little bit more. He's you tell they got a little bit more money. It's a little more of a mainstream movie. It's so it feels a little different than this one did. And I remember I think this is where the George Miller and his partner Byron Kennedy, I think Kennedy had died at this point. He had like a helicopter accident or something.
Jeez.
So it's not the two of them, doing each movie. So it was, I don't know. But I think that's Road Warrior.
Yep. Obviously, it's kind of hard to do the villain thing.
Yeah.
I guess it's the dude that raped that girl.
That's kind of what I was.
Her,
yeah,
but
just
everyone's kind of a piece of.
in a movie where Humungus had people like crucified, kind of, and
tied to vehicles. Oh, that was a cool scene.
Yeah.
Where the guys that were been tied up to the car got like they rear-ended the tanker and got smashed.
Oh my god! Yeah,
I forgot about that.
Yeah, Villainous is hard because it's a movie with so much villainy.
Yeah,
just for villainy sake. I mean,
it's just a screwed up world.
Yeah.
So it's almost the norm for this world.
Yeah,
it's not necessarily out of norms.
I would say the killing and raping, or raping and killing of the woman is probably the worst. You know, I mean, you know, go out on a ledge and say that, you know, I'm against that.
Yeah, that's a big step there.
Yeah,
out on that ledge.
Yeah. You know,
but heroic has got to be the gyrocopter saving Max.
See, I went with Max going out risking himself to save the guy, the scout. Kind of. In that same
I thought that
moment,
was a selfish reason he was doing that.
I guess
he wouldn't have done it if there wasn't a payoff.
True. Okay. Yeah.
I mean,
that's a good point. Yeah.
Gyro Captain, he did it. I mean,
and he was his captive too, and went out and got him. Yeah, that's
because he didn't have to do that.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah. That's a good point. Yeah. I'll give it to you.
Damn straight.
Yeah.
Favorite character.
Yeah.
Love that guy. Wish I knew his name other than the Gyro Captain.
That's it for the movie. I mean, his real name is Bruce Spence.
Yeah,
but yeah, that's the only name he has.
I don't care about
Gyro
Bruce
Captain.
Spence. I care about Gyro Captain. That's a badass name.
Yeah,
Gyro Captain.
Hell yeah.
I wonder if people screw it up and call him the Euro Captain.
Euro Captain
or Gyro.
Yeah,
Gyro Captain.
What's that? Oh,
I wish he had a sequel.
Well,
Gyro Captain in the World of Tomorrow. Where they use a lot of special effects.
Yeah.
Green screen.
The actor is in Thunderdome, and it's a weird, like, he seems a lot like the same character, but he's not playing the same character. It's really, really bizarre.
Yeah, you can't really have him in a sequel without him being the same character.
Yeah.
Can't hide that guy.
Some people you could get away with, you know, playing multiple characters, but that's one guy that I don't think it works. So I think as far as what holds up and what doesn't hold up, I mean, the stunts are amazing.
Yeah, the blanket action and stunts.
They hold up really, really well.
Yeah.
And then the obvious, like the overcranking of the camera to create that fake speed, I think is the only thing that doesn't hold up.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of like, I mean, Humungus's head makeup, kind of that pulsating, you can tell it's like just
his bladders and
you can tell it's just special effects and it's fine. But there's no other real use of makeup or prosthetics or, you know, that kind of special effects.
Yeah, it's pretty limited.
Yeah.
As far as makeup.
So it really comes down to stunts and all that stuff. And they're just so damn good.
Although, I guess there was a little bit of makeup work with Max's face after the crash.
Sure.
And it was pretty good. It looked like
he'd been in a boxing match with. Let's see. So,
I mean, the music.
Oh yeah, music is better than the first movie. I did not like the music in the first one. It's done by the same guy too.
You get your stereotypical like score where it's like dun, 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 dun. But I mean, that's you kind of need that for suspense and like somebody going out and it's meant. I mean, it's like a cliche for a reason.
Sure.
Yeah, but I thought it was pretty well done. Like the music, it didn't distract me like it did last time for whatever reason.
Yeah. The number of saxophone solos went way down in this movie, so that's a positive.
Yeah, but overall, I mean, great movie.
Yeah. Do you want to hit some pros and cons? And
I think we just did.
Yeah, I mean, well, I want to say, like, as I was doing my pros, and my pros were basically, like we just said, cinematography, and so as I wrote down my pros, I then went on to the next page to start writing my overall rating and my overall thoughts and ratings, forgetting about cons. So if that says anything, and then once I realized what I had done, then I started to think about cons, and the only one I could really think of is that you can really see where the movie's going in that end of second act and beginning of third act. Like you just know that Max is going to leave, and then he's going to come back and end up, it's just that, just knowing where the movie's going kind of is a slight con, but, and that's a minor thing, and I'm not.
I mean, everyone's going to know because,
of course,
you're not going to spend that much time on that place if he's just going to go off on another adventure.
Right. Yeah.
So there's really no way around it.
A little bit of predictability is a little slight con that I'll give it.
I'll give it to him because it does pay off with, losing an iconic vehicle.
That's true.
And I didn't know that's where that was going to go.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was going to be, the end of an era with him and his vehicle. Because, like I said, I thought it was going to be like a staple of all these movies.
Yeah, that's fair.
Not knowing, anything about these movies.
Especially when they say, because even the guy that's on the little dolly is like, this is the last, last of the Pursuit Specials or last of the V8s. And they said that in the previous movie, too. So, you do think it's more of a special, long-lasting...
That means the Road Warrior. You can't be on the road without a vehicle.
Yeah. He's not the Sky Warrior.
Although it would have been cool if he joined their team.
Yeah.
They're like, we like your gumption, kid. Join our group.
Yeah.
All right.
You can wear your own hockey mask. And
it's like, the inside of this place. Let's take him out. That would have been a horrible twist.
Max just joins the pirates.
Yeah. But,
So I guess just some overall thoughts and ratings.
Yeah, I mean... I like this movie a lot. It kept my interest. It was the perfect amount of time. It was like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
You knew where you were going, sure, but it's an action movie.
Right.
I mean...
And it is a hero story, so yeah.
You know where it's going to go right off the bat. It's not like you're stepping into the Sixth Sense or something.
Sure. Yeah.
It's like, I didn't see that coming.
Yeah. He was dead the whole time.
Oh, spoilers.
Yeah.
Sorry, anybody under the age
off.
of 15. See, I hate it when people say, it's been out for 20 years. Yeah, but there's people that are like 15.
That's fair.
That's not fair. I mean, for you, it's not a spoiler, but hey, Dick, I'm 15.
Well, I apologize to any of our 15-year-old listeners.
My dad was still doing bong hits when that movie came out. But, I liked it a lot. It was fun. I got thrown off by the ending.
Okay.
Because it was just like, what the hell was that all about?
Yeah.
And, of course, the weird speed-up things. Those are my only knocks on it.
Yeah.
And really, this movie to me wasn't about the ending necessarily as much as it was the adventure.
Yeah.
So it didn't bug me that much that it ended weird with the villains.
Sure.
So...
And I didn't even notice, To me, it was just, that's a cool,
that action sequence was so good, I didn't care.
Right, yeah.
I cared, but not enough to really ding it too much.
Yeah. I guess it's a good end to an action scene. It's not a good end
for the
whole movie and the whole story.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to build up the hockey mask guy as the rock and rolla of Pepsi Cola or whatever it was...
But then you couldn't have had it come down to a fist fight with him and Max, or...
Well, I thought it would be vehicle related, but not just a game of chicken with a semi and a dune buggy.
Yeah, I don't know what else they would have done. That's interesting.
There had to be some other thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was weird, but I gave it a 4.25.
Right on.
I honestly could have given this almost a 5 if it didn't have that weird ending.
Okay. I wasn't sure where you would... How you would feel about this movie. That's good.
I could watch
that
this
makes
again,
me happy. Good.
Really quickly.
Okay. I did not... leading up to it, I thought, well, it's a really good movie. But then I thought, I don't know. Patrick might get...
bogged down by something weird.
Well, I thought you might get thrown off by the assless chap guys and just the aesthetics of those guys, and I don't know. I just thought you might not.
Kind of already knew about that with seeing, I know the environment of
Okay.
the Thunderdome.
Because this is what you thought Mad Max.
Correct. The first movie threw me off more than this one. This is what I was expecting.
Okay.
And
that makes sense.
I've seen Tupac's video with their Thunderdome homage.
Okay.
And there's people dressed up weird in leather. And,
okay.
I've seen the new Mad Max with weird characters. I know there's bizarre people in this
You knew
world.
what to expect a little bit more.
Even in the last one, there was weirdos. They just weren't dressed as weird.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, that didn't... I mean, it was kind of weird that they'd be choosing that in the desert, but whatever.
Gotta keep cool.
I guess. And get burnt at the same time.
Yeah,
all right.
yeah. Yeah, I really didn't know where you would end up. But I'm really happy that...
Yeah,
that's kind of how I felt the first time I saw it. Like, when I saw the first Mad Max, it was like, it's good, but, you know... But then seeing this one, it was like, holy shit, this is amazing.
The action covers up a lot of blemishes.
Yeah.
Of a stereotypical great movie.
Right.
Like, it covers up enough that it more than makes up for it.
Sure. Yeah, so, I mean, I basically feel the same way. I'm really happy that you had a good time with this one. I basically said throughout this, the cinematography is really, really strong, especially for kind of a first-time action guy. Story it's a classic hero story. It's basically Waterworld on dry land, because even down to the idea of, like, he finds a group of people with this, like an atoll, like the island, you know, out in the middle of...
Basically an oasis of sorts.
Exactly. Like, so it's almost... And I never realized that. And I really like Waterworld, you know, for...
You heard it, folks. We found him at last.
Yeah.
The guy that likes Waterworld.
That's right.
I haven't watched it in probably
I haven't seen
20
it since
years
I was a kid,
or something.
Yeah, but so it makes sense that I would like... Because this movie is obvious inspiration for that, you know, in the future. But regardless of all that, yeah, this is a fun movie. It's one I didn't own, and I thought I did because I have the other ones.
That's weird.
Yeah. I think at the time when I was watching all of these, Road Warrior was on Hulu, so I was able to just watch it there, and it just didn't... so I'm glad I own it now. I'm, you know...
Yeah, you can rent it for like $2.99 if you... Like, I tend to watch these older movies on standard definition just because I don't like to be disappointed by high def.
That I forgot to mention it earlier. This one holds up with the... Because you can tell it's like it was on film, and they still have that, you know, 70 millimeter probably. Like, they were able to scan it, you know, HD resolution. I went ahead and got the HD option, so it's like, you know, watching it in 1080.
Gotcha.
It really looks good. So, yeah, I would give this... Yeah, I don't have really any big problems with this movie. I would give it a 4.5.
So why'd you knock it half a point?
The few little technical, you know, the technical
sacks.
The what?
The
the
yakety
yakety sacks. You know, the speed stuff. Because it's just not a perfect movie.
Yeah.
So I can't give it a 5. But you know, yeah, I think 4.5. I think is like a good rating for this one. So
okay. Yeah, I mean, you can knock it for no character development whatsoever.
Yeah, but in a movie like this, I just don't think
it's
need...
an action. Yeah, it's an action movie. So
yeah,
I mean, it would have helped if you cared about any of these people a little bit, I guess. But then you would have had a longer movie. So
sure, and
I lost that for the action.
Yeah, I think having a character, I keep calling her Warrior Woman. I don't remember what her name is, if she has a name. You know, so when a character like her dies, it's like it's surprising, but it's not like you don't feel it. You know, there's nothing there like because you didn't get attached to that character. So you know, and in a way, it feels more real. Like that these would just be random people, kind of like you know, they're not every character in a story needs to be like, I don't know, your hero.
I guess you get to feel like Max.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like, to him, it's just another person that he nodded to, you know, at one point because what'd she say? Like, I was wrong about it.
You're
you
not
know,
as shitty as I thought you were.
Yeah.
Okay, so good one.
Yeah, 4.375 overall. So I guess pretty good.
Get out there and watch it, kids.
Yeah.
Not kids, but
yeah, please.
It is a bit rapey.
Real Comic Heroes does not endorse the
underage
viewing. Yeah. I want to share some thoughts from...
Travis was winking, by the way.
Right. We were supposed to have a guest on this episode, and because of some of our later or recent episodes with our Skype guests just have not been, as good as we want them to be. So quality-wise.
Yeah.
Audio quality-wise.
Yeah, those guys suck, man.
Yeah. So we just kind of have put an end to some of our guest recording sessions just until we can figure out the technical stuff. So, like I said, we were going to have a guest, and since he couldn't make it on, he sent in his just kind of feedback on the movie. I'm going to go through. He sent me quite a few thoughts. I'm just going to kind of go through.
Well, he's a writer, isn't he?
That's true. Yeah, I will say this is Andy Luke, and he is a writer from Ireland. I'll talk about his book and everything after this. But he says, like yourselves, I found the first one underwhelming, a shabby Clockwork Orange.
Oh yeah, he's a writer. He's shabby. Or maybe that's an Irish thing. I don't know.
Yeah. Let's see. It says, from the offset, Road Warrior impresses with honeycomb steel, crazy bed hair, a dog with fleas, vehicles fronted with steel. It's the cars and costumes set this apart. The leather shoulder pads and metal studs, Toadie's falcon cap and Stoat's fur, the Afghan scarves, and the BDSM torture gear of Humungus, who's sounding like a younger version of Bane.
Nice.
Yeah. When you see a classic movie like this, you see everything that's come after. The A-Team homaging Gyro Captain. He is a little bit like Mad Dog. Dog?
No, it's...
Howlin' Mad Murdoch.
Yep,
yeah,
that's it.
Yeah. Judge Dredd in The Cursed Earth, the look of the Dark Judges, and the Reavers in Firefly, which I could see that.
And Tupac.
And Tupac, of course. Yeah, sorry.
California.
Yeah. He says, visually, Road Warrior was a delight. Some beautiful colors in the sky above, the twisted bare trees and skeletons of machines.
There you go.
Yeah. The stunt work is unbelievably good. Dream list of messed up monster cars, and the choreography of their final escape is a marvel. Gibson shines. He says he particularly enjoyed Mike Preston, who's Papagallo.
Okay.
And I kept watching the movie thinking, I recognize this guy.
Yeah, I thought the same
And I
thing.
think he looks a little bit like Mick Jagger, and that's where I keep thinking, like, oh, I've seen this guy somewhere else. I don't know where, because I looked at his IMDb list, and I didn't recognize him from any other movie. So he just has one of those faces, I think, that...
I know it's not him, but he kind of looks like the scientist from Biodome that hates Pauly Shore and his buddy.
Okay.
Like, they got the same hair.
Okay.
They're wearing the same white jumpsuit.
Isn't that... it's the Dick from Ghostbusters,
yeah.
right? Okay.
Yeah.
This man has no dick.
Yep. Peck.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, he says he also really likes the Emil Minty as the feral kid.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, when that kid smiles, it freaks me the hell out.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that is a backwoods didgeridoo kid.
Yeah. And so a little bit more about Andy. He has written, I think, a series of books, but it's called Axel America, which is a cult conspiracy theorist who drags his family deep into his paranoia, crossing paths with a billionaire rival who figures Axel's audience and family are key to winning the presidency. Situation comedy about conspiracies, or a sitcom-spiracy. So you can check out his stuff at Axel America, and you can find it on Amazon or Smashwords. I've never heard of Smashwords. Or andy-luke.com. So thanks Andy for the feedback, and we'll have Andy on sometime in the future once we can get our Skype situation under control. But yeah, if anyone else ever has feedback of their own, feel free to send it to us. I know we have some. I think Rory is going to send us some thoughts about our Superman 2 episode. So I think he disagreed with us a little bit.
What?
Yeah.
That movie was a pile of...
Yeah.
I
still agree.
We should figure out the source. He does Hangover Review. Was he drunk while watching this?
Right.
And through the eyes of drunken eyes, maybe this looks a lot cooler, and maybe it's a comedy to him. Like when they're walking against the breath, and the guy on the roller skates gets thrown over. And
right, yeah.
All those cliches with toupees and
ice cream in the
ice
face.
cream.
Yeah.
And him giving up his powers, but conveniently being able to get them back.
Yeah.
While whispering to Lex, even though they all can hear him. Okay, Rory, bring it on.
Yeah, you heard it.
Defend it.
Yeah. So, yeah, anytime anyone wants to share some feedback with us, we welcome it. We might mock you for it.
Well, we got beef with, I got beef with Rory, so it goes back.
Yeah.
Spaceballs.
Spaceballs.
Yep. So what we got next on the docket?
You'd think I would have prepared. Well,
I could have too.
Yeah.
Spaceballs.
I think so. I think that's like 87.
I thought it was like 85, but maybe it is later. Yeah, it might be later.
I'll tell you here in a second.
When did Jedi come out?
Jedi is 83.
83? Okay. That was 84. I don't know when anything was anymore.
Oh, we're in for a...
Oh, this is going to be...
It's another sequel, so sorry. Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan.
Khan! That's all I know about this movie.
Yeah. Good.
That and it's the guy from Planet of the Apes,
yeah.
Armando.
That guy.
With his chest plate.
That's all Armando, baby.
I know it's a big debate because it's all shiny and waxy looking.
Yeah. When is Spaceballs?
Oh, you left it off, huh? Son of a bitch. You and Rory.
Oh, no, there it is.
Okay.
87. There it is.
Okay. Whew. That was almost
I thought, oh, shit. So, yeah, next time we will do Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan.
All right, well, I guess until then.
Yeah, hit us up online, Real Comic Heroes on Twitter and Facebook, and you can email us at realcomicheroes@gmail.com. So we should be back in another 2 weeks with Star Trek.
Until then, good day.
Yeah.
Beyond the darkness, beyond the human evolution, is Khan, a genetically superior tyrant. Exiled to a barren planet, banished by a starship commander he is destined to destroy. Left for dead, he has survived.
I'll chase him round the moons of Nibia and round the Antares maelstrom and round perdition's flames before I give him up. There she is. There she is. Fire!
Shield's collapsing, Captain. Can you give me phaser power?
A few shots, sir. Not enough against their shields.
The base is stubborn.
Scotty, I need warp speed in 3 minutes or we're all dead. I've done far worse than kill you. I've hurt you. And I wish to go on hurting you. I shall leave you as you left me. Marooned for all eternity. Buried alive. Buried alive. Sean! Sean!
At the end of the universe lies the beginning of vengeance. Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan. Opens at a theater near you, June 4th.